Welcome to the recap of the White Sox 11-7 loss. A very entertaining and so much to get to game in Phoenix, Arizona at Chase Field on Wednesday night. I'm Ryan McGuffey, with you on this edition of the recap, and it's all brought to you by our great partners at Lakeside Bank, where every Lakeside client has their own Lakeside banker, which is why I'm a longtime client. Cap is a longtime client. I go right around the corner over here in Park Ridge, a beautiful branch right over there. Lakeside Bank, our fine partners of our White Sox recap. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Okay, so obviously a loss is a loss. We're going to get to what happened in the game. The White Sox pitching was atrocious tonight, but Murakami, we're just going to keep saying it. I mean, the White Sox lost this game. Murakami hit another home run. That is 5 straight games. He matches the White Sox all-time mark with a list that is decorated as a White Sox list as you want on it. You got AJ on it, you got Carlos Lee on it, you got Paul Konerko on it, you got Frank Thomas on it, you got Ron Kittle on it, and Murakami does it again. As a matter of fact, 3 White Sox players continue their home run streaks. Miguel Vargas has now homered in 3 straight games. Colson Montgomery has homered in 4 straight games, and Murakami, which now he has 10 home runs, by the way. And I'm going to get to an incredible stat that's never been done before in the history of baseball. It's also brought to you by our great partners at Tasty Trade. Stocks, cryptos, options, futures. You can get it all at tastytrade.com. Open your own online trading platform account right now, and we have a special offer at tastytrade.com/recap. The QR code is right there on your screen. Anthony K tonight, folks, when you go back in this game, Sox had a 2-0 lead. They got up and got out in front of Eduardo Rodriguez quickly, but Anthony K gave it all back. He gave up a 4 spot in the second inning. You go down, you look at the 6-7 hitters for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nolan Aronado had a resurgence game, and Vargas also had a 2-homer game. Those 2 guys were 6 for 9 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's your ball game. As a matter of fact, Nolan Aronado is our Gallagher player of the game, but I'm giving a co-player of the game because I want to transition into Murakami. I'm giving a co-player of the game. Very rarely are you going to do this with a winning player and a losing player. Nolan Aronado goes 4 for 4 with a homer, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, like I said, in a resurgence game, traded to the Diamondbacks in the offseason. And then Murakami, he had a 3 for 5 night, homered for the 10th time this year. He's 1 behind Yordan Alvarez for most home runs in Major League Baseball. Those are both our Gallagher players of the game. Since 1927, Gallagher has been serving Chicago, partnering with businesses of every size to provide insurance, risk management, and people strategies to help you take on any challenge. Learn more at ajg.com. So I mentioned Murakami, I mentioned Colson Montgomery. Let's go inside the box score. That's also brought to you by our fine friends at sinusandsnoringmd.com. Cap, that dude snored louder than any person I've ever heard in the history of humankind. And then he went to Sinus and Snoring MD, and they fixed it. Any sinus issues, any nasal issues, any allergy issues, tree pollen, no thank you. It's an all-time high. Sinusandsnoringmd.com as we go inside the box score. The White Sox had 11 hits tonight. They hit the ball. I mean, offensively, this team a week ago, I trashed them on the White Sox Recap podcast, and they're a different team right now. They're a different unit hitting the baseball. They had a great weekend in Sacramento. They've had a great road trip overall. And you see what they did tonight. You got a hit from Meidroth, 2 from Vargas, 3 from Murakami, 2 from Pereira, who, by the way, looks really good. Colson had a hit. It was a homer. Antonacci came off the bench and had a hit. Peters had a pinch hit triple. So a lot to like there. You heard me give you the stats for the Arizona Diamondbacks. But this comes down to pitching tonight, folks. And pitching just wasn't good enough as we take a look at our Hooters winging it starting pitching matchup. OriginalHooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Eduardo Rodriguez for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was okay. He came in with an ERA under 2, 5 innings, 4 earned, 6 hits. He walked 3, struck out 4, and allowed 2 home runs. But Anthony K had his worst start as a White Sox, 3 2/3, 8 earned, 8 hits, 3 walks, just 1 strikeout, and 2 home runs. His ERA is now 5.57. And then Hicks, Hudson, Sims, and Newcomb for the Chicago White Sox out of the bullpen. They walked too many. They walked too many. 3 walks from the bullpen, 4 strikeouts. They also allowed 3 more runs. Newcomb could have been really roughed up and got out of a jam there in the 8th inning. But okay, so now we're past our pitching matchup. Let's focus on something about Murakami and Colson Montgomery. They became the first teammates in the history of baseball, to both have consecutive 4-game home run streaks. So in the same game, Colson goes to his 4th straight game with a home run, and Murakami 5th straight game with a home run. No 2 players in the history of the game have ever had consecutive 4-game or simultaneous 4-game home run streaks, and now you have it. And it's with 2 players, folks, that we think are going to be here for a while. Okay, Murakami becomes the quickest White Sox ever to have 10 career home runs. He broke all kinds of records with his 10th with the home run tonight. He's doing things that Shohei Ohtani has never done. As a matter of fact, never had this many home runs in such a short amount of time. A 5-game home run streak. All kinds of history. His 10th home run of the season, 10 singles are among his 20 hits. He surpassed Shohei Ohtani and the Cubs' Seiya Suzuki with the longest consecutive game home run streaks for a Japanese-born player. They both had 4. He also has the longest streak by an MLB rookie, which is now done 13 times. Ron Kittle of the White Sox did it in 1983. Tough loss tonight. Sox lose 11-7, but Murakami is the story. Colson Montgomery is the story. The White Sox are going to have power all season long. Miguel Vargas. I mean, those 3 guys have combined for 22 home runs. What's going on with Murakami? I don't understand how in the hell the rest of Major League Baseball passed on this guy. If I'm the White Sox, I'm already considering going up to Murakami right now, ripping up the 2 for 34 and saying, let's keep you here for the long haul. This is going to be way too much fun. The White Sox are getting eyeballs that they didn't expect because of Munetaka Murakami, and those are going to keep coming, and it's well-deserved. And this guy is going to be one of the premier players. He's one of the guys everybody in baseball is talking about, Munetaka Murakami. White Sox lose 11-7. Day game tomorrow. We'll have the recap of that one. Look, I'm not happy that they lost. I'm never happy that the Chicago White Sox lose a baseball game. But when Munetaka Murakami comes up to the plate, he is literally stop, watch, wait, and see what happens. 451 feet to dead center field. I can't wait to see tomorrow's game. But that'll do it for this edition of the recap. It's all brought to you by Lakeside Bank. White Sox go for the series win. Tomorrow it's an afternoon game. We'll have the recap after that one. Murakami, folks, the real deal. Take that.